Good morning, jr5. How are you today? Let's start to explain lesson 2 in unit 2, which is called the excretion and human urinary system. Okay? The excretory system, what does it mean by system? As we know in junior 4 that any system consists of group of organs. Okay? So any system inside your body consists of group of organs. The excretory system is one of the group of organs that help us to get rid of the wastes, help us to excrete these wastes outside the body. These wastes comes from what? Comes after the digestion of the food inside your body cells. When we eat, the food becomes digested food, then the blood transports the digested food to all the body cells. At the body cells, there is a reaction between the oxygen gas and the digested food to release the energy that they wanted. In the body cells, the reactions or produce the energy that we want to use this energy to do all your activities, okay? So there are some wastes comes after the reaction between the food and the oxygen inside the body cells. So these wastes get rid of or excrete outside or comes out outside your body by the excretory system. So what does it mean by the excretion? Excretion means when we eat the food, all of you eat the food, okay? All of you doesn't live without eating food. We want to eat the food to get the energy. So when we eat the food, some food is digested and the other is not digested. Some food is digested and the other is not digested. The food that is not digested, this is called indigested food. The indigested food becomes useless, so it must be expelled outside the body, but in the form of solid wastes. So the indigested food called solid wastes. They are useless materials. But the food that is digested, the blood carries this digested food and oxygen to all the body cells to get the energy to do all your activities. So the body cells, inside the body cells, the digested food, okay, burned by the oxygen to produce the energy and then release some waste materials. So these waste materials comes after the burning food with the oxygen gas to produce the energy. These waste materials is expelled to the blood, okay, to get rid of them or to expelled out of the body. These waste materials are called excretory materials. So we have two types of wastes. Indigested food comes out from your body in the form of solid wastes, and excretory materials, they are the waste materials that formed inside the cells. So the digested food and oxygen, between the digested food and oxygen, there is a reaction to produce the energy and then the waste materials. They expelled the waste materials. So there are two types of wastes that expelled outside the body: solid wastes and excretory materials. Solid wastes and excretory materials. So the solid wastes means what? They are the indigested food. They are the indigested food. Indigested food is stored in the large intestine. It's an organ from the digestive system. So the solid wastes means they are the indigested food stored in the large intestine before passing outside the body or before coming out from your body. But the excretory materials, they are the waste materials that formed inside the cells, formed inside the body cells, and carried by the blood. The blood carries these waste materials to special organs to get rid of them. So again, there are two types of wastes that expelled outside the body. Solid wastes means indigested food that is stored in the large intestine. And excretory materials, they are the waste materials that formed inside the cells. So the excretory materials contained harmless materials, the materials that the body cannot use. They are useless materials or harmless materials. And also contains poisonous materials. Poisonous means toxic materials or poisonous materials. So these materials, your body must get rid of them. Because they are toxic or because they are poisonous materials. So your body must get rid of them. So the excretory materials are, what are the materials or what are the excretory materials? They are three compounds or three types. Number one, the carbon dioxide gas. Number two, nitrogenous wastes. Number three, excess salts and excess water. And excess means more than salts and more than water. You have to know that the carbon dioxide gas is produced with water vapor when the body cells burn the digested food by the oxygen to produce the energy. In the reaction to produce the energy, inside the body cells, the digested food burned by the oxygen gas to produce the energy to do all your activities. And there are the carbon dioxide gas is produced with water vapor after these reactions. And nitrogenous wastes such as urea and uric acid. Urea and uric acid or nitrogenous wastes, they are waste materials that produced from the breaking down of proteins or the digestion of proteins. After the digestion of proteins inside your body, the waste materials that comes from the breaking down of proteins called nitrogenous wastes. But you have to eat the proteins inside your food. Why? Because the proteins are necessary for the growth, are important, very important for the growth of the body and repairing the damaged tissues. So we have to eat proteins inside our food. And also the excretory materials are excess salt or contains excess salts and excess waters. Your body get rid of the excess salts by dissolving those salts in the water. The salts dissolves in water, and so you these wastes or the salts and water expelled outside the body. So how can your body cells get rid of these excretory materials like carbon dioxide gas or nitrogenous wastes or excess salts and excess water? When the body cells produce wastes, when your body cells produce these wastes or after burning the food, they release these wastes to the blood. The blood carry these wastes. As we know from the previous lesson, the circulatory system, because the circulatory system transports the wastes to special organs to get rid of them. So they release these wastes to the blood through the thin walls of the blood capillaries. And then the blood carry these wastes to special organs to get rid of them. So how can you get rid of these wastes? What are the organs that get rid of that are responsible for getting rid of these wastes? Number one, the carbon dioxide gas. Carbon dioxide gas and some water vapor, they are expelled outside your body during the exhalation process. During the exhalation process from the two lungs. So the carbon dioxide gas and water vapor are exhaled from the two lungs during the exhalation process. Nitrogenous wastes as urea and uric acid that comes from the breaking down of protein are removed by the two kidneys. Or by the urinary system. Excess salt and excess water are expelled outside the body through two organs. Through the urinary system in the form of urine, and through your skin. By secreting sweat from the special glands inside your skin that called sweat glands. Okay? So again, the carbon dioxide gas and water vapor are removed by the two lungs during the exhalation process. And nitrogenous wastes are removed by the two kidneys inside the urinary system. And also the excess salt and excess water are expelled outside the body through the urinary system in the form of urine and through your skin. This picture is part of your skin, through the sweat glands, okay, in the form of sweat. And these sweat glands are special glands to produce sweat. Okay? So we have some notes. You have to know that the sweat glands, what does it mean by sweat glands? Are a special type of glands inside your skin. Sweat glands are special type of glands inside the skin that produce sweat. And also you have to know that secreting sweat increases in summer. All of you in the summer, the sweat, there are more than sweat in the summer than in winter. Why? Because or due to the high temperature. Due to the high temperature. So the amount of urine decreases. So the urination process, the man urinates less in summer than in winter because the secreting sweat in the summer increases because the high temperature. Because the high temperature. So if I ask you, give reason. The skin is one of the excretory organs. Why? Why your skin is one of the organs that excrete the wastes? Because it gets rid of some excess salts and excess water in the form of sweat from the sweat glands, that they are special glands that produce sweat or secrete sweat. So the skin is one of the excretory organs because it gets rid of some excess salts and excess water in the form of sweat. Give reason number 2. Body cells release these wastes into blood. Why? Why the body cells put these wastes inside your blood? Because the blood carry these wastes to special organs to get rid of them. Okay? Thank you so much. Goodbye.